Alrighty, see how this works. Sorry, you're shaking at the moment. Okay, so I wanted to show you how I break a blank page for my art journal. What I usually do is I will think of a color scheme that I want to work with. Well, I guess I was sort of inspired by my dress that I'm wearing today. But also, I was at the AGO this summer, the Art Gallery of Ontario, and I always like the paintings with the black backgrounds. Now, there's quite a few artists that do that. I've never been able to imitate it myself, but I love the aesthetic of it. So what I wanted to do is recreate it somehow in my art journal. No idea how it's going to turn out, so we'll have to wait and see. And I don't know what the timing is on this, so I will go as far as I can, and then hopefully I'll be able to process through this. So all I did at first was I broke the page. Breaking a blank page is just basically starting somewhere. So you have a starting point. I just used my black acrylic paint. I've had this for years, since high school really, and one of these will last quite some time, as I've proven. Anyway, so what I want to do, so these are the stencils that I made out of my playing cards. I've used some of them already, but what I want to do, I guess we're going to use the Joker today again. Well, you know what? That would actually look kind of cool on there too. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, my dog hears something outside. Okay, we're going to ignore him. Anyway, maybe we'll set that one aside. Maybe we'll do something with the Joker. So basically what we're going to do, instead of using paintbrushes, is use a barking dog, apparently. Oh my. Apparently it's... Okay, so I want to use bright colors in this case. I'm going to use a bit of pink. This is just craft paint. And some of this light green. I'm going to close the door. Luke, calm down! I'll just let him work through whatever he's working through. I don't know. I think sometimes he just likes the bark for the sake of barking. I honestly don't know what colors I want to use. I'm just sort of picking as I go. I don't know. I like kind of just tropical. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. So all I do is I just... That's it, people. It's very technical. You do have to shake it up a bit because sometimes the paint tends to separate. Come on. Or just clog up altogether. Okay, we're not meant to use pink today. Maybe we'll use this. I guess it's an orangey peachy color. It's very 80s at the moment. But we're going to go with it. And then maybe what we'll do is something a bit... No, not that one. We use this darker teal. For some reason, black and teal just look really good together. Okay, and then all I'm going to do, you know what, I'm going to grab the other light. Because my husband still has the other light in the basement, so we're going to go like that. Hopefully, you'll be able to see a bit more. I got this light at the dollar store. It's actually not a bad little light, but for filming, this might actually not work too badly. I just want you to be able to see it. So all I'm going to do is I am just going to smear, basically. Because I like how that looks on my background. Now you can wipe this off on a tissue. Obviously, instead of having it go everywhere on you. And then you can just sort of scrape it off as you go the other direction. And as you'll see, some of the colors will go together, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So this is my starting point, basically. Now you can scrape as much off as you want, and you'll wonder, as like, why would you put that much on and then take it all off? Well, because not always will everything turn out the way you expect it to. But the beauty of it is you can just play around. And it gets messy, and that's okay. So I want to do something with, I don't know, I want to keep it very graphic. It's just going to be about my background, basically. But again, like any other graphic design, there is a rhyme and a reason to a lot of it. So it's just basically filling in certain areas. And I don't know. You know what? We're going to use a finger because that's okay. And some of it will leak through, and that's fine too. See how it's just sort of different? And you just turn it and then play with it. And get messy. That's half the fun, is getting messy. I think, anyway. And yes, it will leak through. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And you could even, this one's butterflies, this one has stars. You can do a different color again. If you wanted to show it a little bit more, we'll go back to this one. And then I'm going to do my stars. See, it doesn't always work with the finger, but you get the idea of it. And if you don't like it, scrape it off. That's fine too. And you can start over. Or if that's not working, you will grab a makeup sponge and dab that. And then you can dab it with that. If you want more precise looking stars, it works better if it's clean, obviously. Just dab it on. But you can see the stars better. Now, there's a lot of color to this. But I want it to be a little bit more on the dark side. So all I'm going to do is grab another paintbrush. If you don't want to use a paintbrush, use a chopstick in this case. I'm going to put some on my, that's an awful lot, but you can always put some of it back. Just be careful you don't get it everywhere. I'm just going to stick that in the water. So I'm just going to grab another, I'm just going to grab the whole container. These are inexpensive. You just get them at the dollar store. I want to do some black stars, so it's more or less clean on the other side. And then I'm just going to go over my previous colors and see, that'll come out over top of the brighter colors. I'm just playing with it. And I don't clean these cards off. I just, the paint will dry, it's latex, and you can just keep reusing them over and over and over because they have that nice coating on them. And sometimes you can see the edges. You can even do the edges of it. And that is kind of cool too, actually. It's all about experimentation, just trying different things. I find it very relaxing, but I like the darker and the lighter, the contrast between the two. It reminds me of a night sky, which is what I like. And I just go over top of the other colors. If they didn't turn out too well, then the layered look will make it look better. And if they blend a little bit, it's okay too. So basically what I've done is everything pretty much on the outside. Let's see. The diamond shapes too. Do I want to use that in black? Yes, probably. Again, it's just picking part of the stencil. You don't have to use the whole stencil. The more abstract it is, the better. Because it gives you the idea, the illusion of texture. And it creates a lot more interest. Having started off with a black background and then putting color over top and then black over top again, it creates this depth to it, which creates more interest. So, and then I just do it all along the outside. Wherever there's color, I will add a few more of my diamond shapes. You can go sideways, you can go upside down, doesn't matter. Just work with it. And then see what you come up with. Now, remember this one? So I think I might actually use this. What I'm going to do, because it's quite stark white, I'm just going to go like that. And then I'm just going to paint him a little bit, because he's pretty stark. And then if you find it's a bit too dark, what you can do, you can lay him down. I probably wouldn't use the black one for this one. Maybe just use a little bit of the white. There. Just a little bit on there. Because he's got some diamonds in his outfit. This had started out as a floral piece that I wanted to make, but for now, you know, he's become the Joker. So all I do is get my decoupage in, and I'm going to glue that sucker down. Make sure you keep a brush just for decoupage glue, because otherwise you're going to ruin your good brushes. Now, it's not quite dry yet, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. And he's going to go on a bit of an angle. And then I'm going to just go over top, because I might want to do some stamping on him later on, and this will help me make sure that I can do that. And if I want to do some paint splatters, I can do that too. I like my pages to be glossy, to be honest. I don't really like the matte. You know, there's matte nail polish, matte mediums out there these days. I don't know. I don't enjoy it as much as I do the glossy stuff. Now, I could leave it half and half, do one side glossy, the other side whatever. I don't do things halfway, really, because I might just want to add some more things to this later on. But this is a good way to break a blank page, just sort of have it prepared for later on. And like I said, you know, I started out wanting to do floral, ended up with the Joker, so the joke's on me, literally. But the beauty of it is that you can just add different elements to it. So at this point, I don't know why, but I am going to give him a butterfly. And don't ask. I'm just going to put him there. And the more you offset things, you know, you just start building and creating and just seeing what you come up with. Not always is there a plan. It doesn't have to be. Not always does there have to be a title. It doesn't always have to make sense. You're just playing and building and creating something that you will eventually find pleasing. You know, you can have a bunch of these shapes all cut out, and you can just play and just try different things, see what you come up with. I know process videos is not something I have done before, but you can just sort of build around it. And Tim Holtz has some really cool kind of things too. He's got all these people and little cutouts and whatnot else. And this little boy is sitting, so he's going to sit on top of here because, you know, that's where he's going to live. So basically, I've just built a composition just out of some pieces that I had. No plan, really. Well, I had a plan, but, you know, like I say, not all plans work out the way you expect. So, but this is how you start building. This is how you start doing collage. You start with the background. You start with interesting shapes. These stencils I made myself. I showed you how to do those. And, you know, you can cut out magazine pictures. You can print things off from the Graphics Fairy online. She has some beautiful vintage pictures and whatnot else that you can print off. They're all free. So, and she comes out with new things all the time. So you can give this a title. You can leave it as is or keep going. Let's have the fun. Well, I hope you enjoy, guys. Bye.